compost heaps. Well, come here. We produce about 15 cubic meters of compost every year, and we used to do them as just very slow compost heaps, just like this. You just chuck everything and leave. Now we are starting to try and speed them up because we are using our own compost to sell plants, and if you heat the compost up more, then it kills off all the seed in the compost. But whatever you do, over time it will rot down and it provides fertility for the garden. So most of the fertility in the garden here comes from the garden itself.
You don't bring manures from outside?
Not very much. We have over the last couple of years been using spent mushroom compost, and that's really because of the amount of plants we sell. We are exporting fertility from the garden, so we use spent mushroom compost to do that.
The challenge is to get the fertility back.
Yeah. So mostly we don't, and there's some, you can see over there, there's some young grafted apple trees coming on. Now this is an interesting little family of plants here, guild if you like. This is comfrey. Well, it's not comfrey because it hasn't come yet. So we got comfrey. Yes, oh, it's just coming. You're right. Yeah, and we have a couple of potato towers, then an apple. Then we go blackberry, 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 apple, and so on. So what you get is blackberry, comfrey, apple, blackberry, apple, and so on.
That's your guild.
Exactly. So what you do is you cut the comfrey and you lay it down between the blackberries, and that feeds the blackcurrants, I should say. It feeds the blackcurrants, and then the apples in between. And you'll hear people telling you in permaculture courses you can't grow blackcurrants under apples.
No problem.
So this is a very low maintenance system, and we get, kilos of blackcurrants off each of these. This is a lovely apple. This one here, it's Crawley Beauty. It comes from Sussex in the south of England originally. It is a period 8 apple. It's the last apple of the flower. It's completely self-fertile, and it keeps until May. You harvest it in October, keeps till May. When we get around, I'll show you some in the store. But so that's an apple you can eat for 6 months of the year. What have we got here? These are more annual beds. So you see, we come out of the forest garden into a more open clearing. This is Fatsia japonica, which is more ornamental. But in between, we have spaces here which we're currently growing with field beans, more strawberries, more compost heaps. So in these open beds, we do more rotation on a conventional organic fashion. A little bit of marjoram, all the herbs you need in this garden. This is a kale called Ragged Jack. See the shape of the leaves. Let's try it. Obviously it's better when you cook it, but you can use this as a salad. And this is a huge source of vitamin C in the middle of winter here. Because we're very far north here, and it's very cold in the winter, but you can still grow things wherever you are.
This is the same latitude as
Alaska, Moscow, northern China.
What are the biggest challenges that you face here?
Not knowing what the weather will do. Problem worldwide, really. I think that you just need to think ahead. One of my rules of thumb is the success of growing food is determined by how far you get ahead in February in a northern climate. And we're ahead this year. so we're going to do well. This is Asian pear, also known as nashi pear.
Nashi pear, yeah, another thing.
We've got end of the season red cabbages here, some curly kale there, some purple sprouting. I mean, this bed has just been dug for let's plant parsnips here. There are onions planted here already. These are autumn raspberries. We have an experiment we're running. We have 2 beds of autumn raspberries. The books tell you to cut them down to the ground in the spring, then they come again. So each year we have 2 beds and we rotate them. One bed we cut down to the ground, the other we leave. Actually what we find is the ones you leave produce more raspberries.
Okay, I don't trust the book. Sometimes they're wrong.
Oh well. This is another walnut. This is a Juglans cinerea. In American it's called a butternut. Here's a potting shed. So this is where we can pot on plants. But all the sheds you see have water collection.
And you're able to produce all the soil you need here for your operation.
Yeah. So here's one of the little wild spaces. This is just flowers. And what this does is it attracts insects, creates diversity. This is, yes, Mahonia. So flowers in the winter, produces edible berries.
What's its name?
Mahonia.
Mahonia.
This is Forsythia. So this area is just all flowers. Just to bring the insects in to pollinate things. Yes. Here we can see we have some shallots coming here, some onions, apple, blah blah blah. In the greenhouse here.
Inca berries and passion fruit.
Yes, very good.
In Scotland.
Yeah, we have passion fruit growing here. Just pull the door to behind you.
A lot of grafted plants here also. When did you grafted these ones?
Well, over the last month, really. So these are apples grafted. These are grapes growing. Grape trees growing here.
Oh, grapes.
So this bed is a mixture of early food crops and then we are propagating.
And father, you're studying the father for fertility?
Yes. Yeah. No, for beans to eat.
For beans, oh, you'll leave that here all the way.
And this is very good, edulous. If you pick one, you might still find a fruit. They're still fruiting.
Big lanterns.
Yeah.
Really big lanterns. This wouldn't survive outdoors. This would survive outdoors?
No, it's not really ready yet, but you can eat it. It'll be quite sharp like that.
Good for pickles.
Fruiting full of vitamin C in the middle of winter.
Yeah. Very good crop.
So the grafted trees, we just start off in here this time of year, just to give them a start, and then we put them outside to harden them off. Various edible things here, but this time of year we start planting plants for the nursery and for the garden.
You irrigate by hand here?
Yeah. And well, we think it's really important that people. Oh, I mentioned pheasant.
Okay. It's a female.
We think it's really important that people understand about tools. I think it's one of the biggest things with permaculture for us is knowing how to use tools well is really important. So, you know, we have this setup here where we ask people, you know, you don't use a tool unless you put it back at least as clean and sharp as you got it.